And we are back for the ESL Southeast Asia Championship for Dota 2. Today is day number 2 where we close our Group A, but first, the lower bracket between Army Geniuses and Reality Rift. I'm Huskkiee and I'm joined by Winter.
Yeah, the game 1 was a bit of a stomp, and hopefully game 2 they're gonna be able to come up something else better, especially for the laning phase. Maybe pick something that will help them deal with the laning phase much better. Pick stronger support for the lanes, because the last game they picked the Wyvern plus the Pango. Yeah, those two supports are a lot weaker in the lane. Sure, they have very strong spells in the team fight. They can do a lot, but the laning phase is gonna be lacking.
Yeah, I think recently as well, the patch did affect the meta a bit. I noticed that Lifestealer kind of fell off, but is this hero still kind of viable in certain situations? So I feel like Void and PR are probably the ones that kind of popped up more, even more. Even Sven once in a while. But where does Lifestealer stand?
He's still reasonable. Laning not as strong as before, for sure, because of the nerf to the damage. He has less damage right now. But I think overall, if picked in the right situation, he's still going to be useful. I mean, he's still a strong carry.
Right, so there we go. We are into the draft for Game 2, RR. So we start out with the ES, Bat, and Timber, whereas Army Geniuses, they're going to stick with the Troll and the Hustler Clockwork, followed by the Snapfire.
So last game, so it was also Army Genius with the overall last pick, so it's the same. The pick sequence is the same this time. So I guess they probably wanted last pick again. A is a very highly contested hero during Star Ladder. He's a hero that when you look at the hero, you don't really feel, oh, okay, wait, why is this hero having like a very, very strong impact in the game? Because he feels like a normal hero. You know what you're getting from him. But the reason why he has a very high win rate at the moment, I think, is attributed to laning. He's a very strong laner, and he has his ulti kind of like prevents a lot of the picks that you that are meta right now. Like especially the Wyvern. Certain teams they pick Wyvern a lot, and also there's the Huskkiee, and overall he just contributes a lot. Maybe you don't even pick a hero that gets countered by the Ice Blast, but he's just gonna be very useful in the team fights doing damage. Especially he is a support that does a lot of damage.
No Army Geniuses style. They're still gonna lock in the white one regardless, but this time they follow up with the Tiny. Tiny was banned out in game 1.
Much better, I think much better opening when your second pick this time around, because it doesn't really reveal too much. Some people might criticize that, oh, you are opening with 2 supports, so you are actually limiting yourself a lot. But I think it's actually fine if you understand how to pick around it to delay your course. And on top of things, Tiny is also a pick that is still somewhat considered as a flexible hero, even though he's mostly played as a support right now after all the nerfs. But you can, I think you can still play him as a mid hero if you want to. And for R, they have used their 10th pick for the Earth Spirit. Not very sure about that. It's more about, I think, a comforting. I don't think it's gonna matter so much because they are probably much better than their opponents. But generally, when your first pick at this junction, the 10th pick, this pick is one of your strongest pick that you have, because you pick a hero and you immediately go into the second ban phase, so you are able to use both your bans right away to amplify the strength of your 10th pick. So this pick is always a pick that I look at a lot during tournaments, like how a team utilizes that junction. Like the 10th and 18th pick are both your strong picks as a team that started the draft. I think that the 10th pick is a little bit stronger because you get to ban 2 heroes, and the 18th pick you get to ban one hero after that, so it's not as good.
So Spirit, that's the Hustler special for RR. They ban out the Slaughter and the Monkey King. As Army Geniuses will respect Alacrity, and they ban out the OD. So a lot of emphasis on winning the lane for the cause.
Yeah, AA plus Earth Spirit, and I mean the downside about not using the 10 pick for the upside about delaying the core pick here is you get to see one more hero from Army Geniuses before you pick your core, since they open it this way. That's the advantage of not using the 10 pick for a core. So it gives your core players more time to decide what picks they want. And Earth Spirit is definitely something that I wouldn't say is a strong hero right now. It's more like they like the hero, you know, it's Hustler.
Yeah, it's Hustler.
He likes Earth Spirit, he likes Rubik and Skyruff. I think these are the 3 heroes that he loves the most.
And it also recently added Clockwork into that hero pool.
I mean, yeah, I don't think he likes Clockwork. It's more like Clockwork is just good in the meta. He's a good hero, so they are picking it. Because the way he plays Dota, if you watch a lot of his pubs, is very flashy. He likes heroes that can solo kill alone. So Skyruff, I think Skyruff is, I mean, Earth Spirit is definitely very strong for him. Skyruff is one of his best heroes too.
Genius is gonna ban out the Omni Knight this time. I believe that Omni Knight was also banned out last game.
Yep, it was a very, very good hero on KYXY's hands. Like the way this team is playing, they always have a setup where their position 4 is going to be like the hunter setup hero. KYXY's hero generally is going to be like the frontliner. Team buys all the team items. Sometimes he has stun, like if he plays Kunkka.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't play Kunkka, he's going to be like on some Centaur. What else does he play?
So Omni Knight, he does.
Centaur, Abaddon. His other heroes don't really have a stun in a lot of cases. I mean, he does play Bat Rider, but Bat Rider is a hero that gets banned a lot nowadays because of how strong his laning phase is after the change to the Napalm. I mean, despite getting some nerfs in the last patch, I think the hero is still extremely strong.
Yeah, I think like last patch is because like Flame Blade was too strong. Like
It's a small nerf though. I think his laning phase is
still
too broken. He's too good in the laning phase.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to turn to cast your Napalm. That's what they changed.
Yeah.
So it was like Dota 1 before. That's how Bat Rider dominated all the lanes. The sticky Napalm, you can just cast it even when you're facing behind. So it's very, very, very difficult to deal with.
Red Deer is now taking the time to decide on this.
I mean, they get to see,
Army Geniuses.
yeah, they get to see a pick from Army Geniuses first. So generally at this corner, wow, they pick the PL right away.
Oh,
It's very, very early for you to, because PL is a win condition hero and they are picking it like this early. It's
a lot of priority on the PL.
It's not really exactly priority though. I think they just don't know what to pick, and you pick because PL is good against the Spirit and the AA. So this is why I don't like it. It allows the enemy to counter pick right away. The lane Underlord is good in the lane against PL and it's good in the game against PL. So that lane is like automatically going to be really tough for the PL, and it also makes it very tough for PL to win the game because of the presence of a strong counter.
And then you kind of clear out the illusions.
I mean, I guess for Army Geniuses, they kind of want to pick their mid hero last. The Kunkka can be an offlane hero or mid hero, like generally a useful hero. See, if you really wanted the Kunkka, you could have just picked
the Kunkka.
Yeah, if you could have just. Why do you have to? Because say you pick the Kunkka doesn't mean the Kunkka is going to go mid right away, right? So if you are, you don't really have to pick. You don't really feel like picking a mid hero right away. So you're gonna want to pick a hero. So you're gonna probably pick your offlaner.
Yeah.
And then the offlaner is gonna come out first, and then you can pick your PL, so your PL doesn't get counted in the lane. This is all the small things that will change the draft a lot, like a small sequence that sometimes people don't really. It's like lack of planning, you know. They just picked the PL because PL was really good against the A and Earth Spirit, and they have no idea what else to pick. If they plan ahead, they would have done the Kunkka first.
Yeah, I think RR can still fall back to the void for this one.
They can pick a lot of things. So there are a lot of things that's really good against PL, like Lashrak. Lashrak is really good against PL, and they have AA Ice Vortex that's gonna be helping the Lash do a lot of damage in the team fights. Like Lash is one of the hardest counters to PL. Like the other pick they could do is Shadowfiend. Shadowfiend does somewhat okay against PL illusions, and you can dominate the lane against Kunkka if Kunkka's mid.
Yeah, it seems very likely that Kunkka is gonna go mid. I think RR just want to save that middle lane pick again. Void was 4th.
It doesn't matter for them right now because they are picking 2 in a row. You generally want to pick the hero that has no replacements. Like you are thinking about, okay, if I don't have a Lash, what's my replacement? And the other hero as well. If I don't pick this hero, I pick the Lash first. Do I have a replacement? If yes, then you pick the Lash first. That's how I think about it at this junction. During the first pick phase, when you don't have the overall 22nd pick, the last pick.
Yep, it's going to be Lash. like you mentioned, it's gonna be
Yeah,
like
everything
Lash.
is very important to plan out during the draft because you can't just
5 seconds remaining.
see a hero, pick a hero, and not think ahead. It's gonna be very easily. You're gonna get easily outdrafted by your opponent if you don't really think ahead and plan ahead. So let's see what RR do here for their finishing pick. I guess in theory the Lash could be safe lane, could be mid. Like I said, if they go for the SF, it's gonna be good in the lane, or they could just leave. Because I don't really like Lash mid, because Lash mid is not that good in the lane. You tend to get bullied a lot, unless you're fairly certain you're going up against this weak hero in the lane. Because right now I don't think it's certain that the Konka is going mid. They could just pick another hero and put Konka off lane. So I would lean more towards picking another mid hero and leaving the Lash as a carry.
I'm gonna go like I wonder what else is there.
Apart from SF, there's Templar. The other decent hero against PL will be Dragonite. But Dragonite you could get in a lot of trouble with a overall last pick counter, lane counter. Even if you ban Huskkiee, is there other heroes? I think there's still Razor. Yeah, Razor's still in the pool. So it's gonna be hard to pick the Dragonite.
They ban the Pango to close things out. So I think that's
Let's shove in TA, that's pretty much.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. Or they pick a Spectre. Spectre is pretty decent here. But that would mean that the Lash is gonna have a tougher early game. His lane is gonna have a trashy lane. His lane is gonna be hard.
Yeah, I slightly lean more towards the TA for
10 seconds.
But those are all decent options depending on what they want, how they want to play the game. Spectre would give them like an overall better late game, I think. But the early mid game wouldn't be that strong. SF TA would give them like I think a much more all-rounded balanced lineup. They are stronger in the early mid game. Because when you draft Lash and Underlord, you wanna have the power to take the fights to your opponents early. Because those heroes are very strong. So they go back for a DK. But they could get counter pick here, and it's gonna be depending on whether the Dragonite and Lashrak could be flexible. Do they have the liberty to switch, or do they want to switch the lanes if the matchup is very, very bad for DK?
yeah. I think DK can still can't go the safe lane. That's
I mean, you can. It's I don't think it's the best, but it's decent. Let's say if they pick a Huskkiee, you don't really want to put the DK in the mid lane. You kind of want a Lash to go mid. But if they pick something else, then sure. It's off lane, I think.
Now select your heroes.
If Konka is mid, I think if you, it doesn't really matter who you put mid, but what matters more is like what are you thinking of the game as the position for. Because if you have Lash mid, you can rotate mid to kill. You roll in and there's a stun and there's an edict or lightning, you're more or less going to have a chance to kill. But if it's a Dragonite mid, you probably will have very little choice on what you can do in a game. You're probably going to want to try lane with the Lash. I mean, you can start the game with Pit Lord, pull away for him, and then leave him alone and go play with the Lash, because that's the only lane you can kill. You can't really go mid. But if the Lash is mid, I think he can have more presence roaming mid.
5 seconds
and playing. He's gonna be bouncing from mid to top. I think that's better for him compared to playing top and bottom. It's not like a biggest deal, depending on who they want to lane against. But I think overall, as a position 4, it does help you have a better game if you're bouncing from mid to top compared to going from top to bottom, because you're wasting a lot more time. And I feel like whenever you have less travel time as a position 4, you tend to have more freedom in terms of what you want to do in the game.
I think most of the time when RR goes for like the Lashrak, I think it's just to kind of get those early structures out. But I think against Army Geniuses, they just want that insurance, right? With the Phoenix, you have the Supernova, and then you have the Winter Curse. I think Army Geniuses want to play a bit more layback and give PL the time.
Yeah. The plan right now is one side wants to siege towers with Lash and Dragonite and Pit Lord. Sorry, Underlord. Then Army Genesis is gonna try to use their ultimates, like you said, the egg, the curse, the boat. They're gonna try to defend their towers. So it's very, very clear what are the difference between the two jobs. One side is gonna be constantly trying to pressure. The other side is gonna be, like you said, buy time for PL with the other 4 heroes. Essentially a 4
protect one.
Yeah, 4 protect 1 strategy.
But I think it's definitely safer than comparing to
Yeah,
for
it's
protect one Huskkiee.
the last game was very limited what they could do. This game has more options. They have team fight,
Prepare
they
for
have
battle.
catch with the Conker and the Tiny. So and then wave clear with the Wyvern and the other heroes have somewhat decent wave clear. So you're allowed to prolong the game for your PL to farm. You have options in the game, you know. It's not all about, oh, we have to go with the Huskkiee, there's nothing else we can do. No, this game is much more flexible in terms of how they want to approach the game.
Yeah, I think also they have the mechanism to slow down push, not just with this, not just with Ultimus and but the 5 spirits alone can cripple probably the only guy that wants to right click, which is the Dragon Knight.
So who is playing? Oh, Drew is playing Lash, so it's gonna be a mid DK.
Oh, mid DK against a
I mean, it's whatever. The lane, I don't think the lane matters so much against Conker. Whoever goes mid can't really bully
yeah.
the Conker, but like I said, the main thing is the Earth Spirits game. Like, how is he gonna be bouncing up and down? You can use your TP, but you can't really move around. So, well, like the way you play the Earth Spirit this game is like probably what I said earlier. You have to help the Underlord a little bit for 2 minutes. You gotta pull. I think it all depends on the Underlord. Maybe you pull one wave, he thinks it's fine, then you can roam. Or you wanna pull another wave, so at least you secure. Maybe you didn't secure your level 2 because you want to get your level 2 before you start to go to the Lash lane, because that's the only lane you're gonna play. You help the Underlord and you go to the Lash to kill his day. That's very straightforward. The other possible option is they actually start the AA with the Underlord and have the Earth Spirit start the lane with the Lash itself. So that's gonna provide them with more kill potential from the start with the Lash. And the lanes are overall much stronger because you want to have range melee. It's better for the laning phase.
And at the same time, it's going to be mid Phoenix offlane Kunkka for Army Geniuses.
Oh, mid Phoenix? What?
Yes, it's Mawang Daya on Phoenix.
Okay, so okay, that makes sense because they are. I think what they were figuring out is they wanted to have the Phoenix against a melee hero matchup instead of the Conker against DK, so at least they can bully the lane.
It's going to be a Lash right mid, it seems. Yeah, they're switching
Is
through
it?
the mid.
Yeah, this is what I said. I felt it was better. It will help the Earth Spirit's game a little bit. So we'll see how the Earth Spirit gets to do his ganks this game, and we're gonna see the bounty runes spawning.
Go for sneaky wrap around to take that.
2 apiece.
Still 2 apiece. Now is she trying to
Honey's gonna toss someone back.
try? Here comes the Spirit Lance. It's gonna be KYXY. Actually, uses the Avalanche instead of a toss. Rolling boulder from Hustler, and that should keep KYXY alive. The body blocks come in though. Few more right should do the job, and it's Stargazer with the first play.
Yeah, they were able to get the kill because the PL started with Orb of Venom. I don't think they get the kill if he doesn't have Orb of Venom. A risky build because it does mean that you go to the lane with a lot less tangles and salve, but it paid off there.
Definitely giving PL the start that he needs. Going to get an immediate wave ban from that as well, but it seems like Hustler is going to have his work cut out. He's been occupied a bit more because of the Army Geniuses tri-lane. Actually, both teams tri-laning. Gonna put DK and Kunkka on the Lonely Island.
Well, the lane is gonna be a boring lane for both of them because neither hero can kill the other guy, so it's just gonna be like a farm fest. And right now we see Nuts rotating back to the bot lane to try to get more experience because he's not needed at top anymore. What he was trying to do there was just to make sure that the first 2 waves are secured for the pit lord. Sorry, the Underlord.
Dota 1 stuff.
Yeah, the Underlord, so that he doesn't get completely bullied out of the lane. I mean, this is like a small little thing that decides how well your laning phase could go, you know. You might need the help, you might not need the help sometimes, but it's better to ensure you do not get completely zoned out on the lane. And the A is just like pulling right now at bottom to maximize his experience. Because he can't really pressure the Kunkka too much anymore, the wave is too far up, so just doing what he can.
Yep, and maybe a South expanded for UK. Yeah, XY forced the TP out.
I guess he didn't really have much of a choice because he didn't see where is the Tiny, so Tiny could be nearby. So he had to just TP to make sure he doesn't die there. But he's in a very precarious position right now. If he dies right now, his lane is over because he will have no TP. So if you're that Tiny, at the moment. You are just going to be thinking of how you can kill him after you pull this wave, get the wave in the middle of the lane, and you get a kill on the underlord, the lane is over for him. He has no more game.
Meanwhile, Mamang Daya gonna be a trade fest with Drew with Fire Spirits, but
Losing the trade.
Drew
Wow.
winning now.
Look at his CS, he's getting owned again.
Yes,
What?
3-1
What?
to 12 and 4. And
What
then
is going? Lash is not even like the best laner.
Mamang Daya having a horrible time.
You rarely see Leshrac dominate a matchup. I mean, sure, Phoenix is also not a very strong laner, but wait, I'm very surprised that the lane has gone this bad for him.
I think, and it's against two different players as well. Last game was Luckily, this time was against Drew. TP from Nuts though, gonna help out the top lane because Army Geniuses decided to try lane for the PL once more. Get the ward deny. Now she might be looking for a toss back. Hustler does run into UK. They get the boulder smash. Cold feet. Is it in range for the freeze? No,
Oh,
it's
he
not.
didn't.
But
Drop?
the roll.
Okay.
It's enough. Hustler?
I think that was the nerf a while back, like the slight range. I think the old Kofi that would have procced for sure. But regardless, they are still gonna get the kill, and they're happy with having the Dragon Knight go solo against the Kyunka. Kyunka can't really pressure him because the Kyunka was pulling the wave constantly, so AA felt like I'm not gonna be able to accomplish much here anyway. So he decides to rejoin top lane. I think that was a good move by him.
Oh, RR getting that early cliff ward. So they definitely know where the timing
What?
is.
Solo
Meanwhile,
kill?
solo kill.
Radiant's middle
How
tower
From
is
a
how
under
does a
attack.
DK kill a Kyunka in the lane level 4?
What?
Which will remain to be answered. That is sure. I guess he has all Venom.
One more must have.
I mean, it has to be like a very big misplay there for
Yeah.
the Kyunka to die to a DK level 4.
And it's only level 1 brief fire. Like, how did that happen?
It's more about I think it's more about the all Venom there. They were just trading and he couldn't run away.
Now when he comes back with a level disadvantage and the Luckily just need to be happy trading with this Kunkai at this point. It's unfortunate circumstances for Wami. But it feels like Army Geniuses might be a repeat of last game where all lanes just go down the drain. 5-minute boundary rune coming up. Army Geniuses just needs to secure as much boundary runes as they can. 3 for RR. 2 for RR. 2 apiece.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So first catapults has spawned. Every time the first catapult spawns, you look at the mid lane first because that's the catapult that will reach the tower the quickest. So you see rotations on the support to the mid lane. Usually,
Radiant's
at this phase of the game,
has been killed.
both teams' supports will just move middle for like a 3v3 or 2v2 brawl. But here we see the Tiny wrapping around. He's going to go behind.
Oh, waiting for all the spells to come out. Here comes Split Earth, Avalanche, Toss. They need the damage though into Supernova. I just want to burn Drew
Kick him
down.
out. That's nice.
Hustler?
Nicely done.
What a save. Let's get stunned though. He's gonna give his life for this. Maybe even not. They blocked the boulder roll.
Yep, he's dead.
There you go.
But
He's
it's not
dead.
worth it. That's a really, really good play by Hustler.
Meanwhile, they believe Alacrity did lose his career to Wami, but doesn't really matter too much. Just a Magic's one.
Yep, and I think the Phoenix can't really pressure the tower anymore because he doesn't have the egg. So that was like a huge play there by Earth Spirit. So the tower should be okay for Radiant.
TP
Okay.
coming in though from Nuts. No.
You still want to try to see how much they emphasize saving the catapult.
Nope.
They pop the
Instantly.
glyph for that.
Icarus dive. They have the Arctic burn. Drew trying to get an exchange. No. Wami joins the fight as well. This time it's a kill for Army Geniuses.
Oh, 4-man. They really want this tower with the catapult.
Radiant's middle
But
tower is
Diablo
under
cleared out the wave a bit alongside the boulder smash.
Yeah, I think the Radiant were just not ready for that. They need to position their supports well.
Luckily, TP's in. Dragon form. There's a torrent, but where's the boat though? Wami taking too much damage. The boat not gonna come in time.
Radiant's
Does
bottom
connect onto
tower
Alacrity,
is
so he
under
should be able
attack.
to get out. Nuts
Radiant's middle
on
tower
the tail
has
of
been
Lawlessy, but
denied.
not able to get in range. No chilling touch.
Yep, they were able to deny the tower, so that was a big play there by the Dragon Knight. Good rotation, and
Dragon Tail again. The Fast Spirit does miss, so Cold Feet on top of the Wyvern. They get the Geometric Grid. What a kick from Hustler. Mamandaya managed to dive out though.
What?
As UK comes back, turns around, the Arctic Burn, Alacrity survives the avalanche damage, not enough, but Wami is ready. The torrent, does it connect? No, it does not. And that's kills of UK.
What was that? Why did he come back with the dive? Was he silenced or what? He couldn't cancel? Why did he complete the dive? He was fine. My god.
He just wanted to commit to that.
The Osprey was already dead regardless, and he would have been able. Maybe a bit of a misplay there by Phoenix.
Yep. Good news is Alacrity did survive that. So he should get out with a slit of health, Dragon Blood, the strong passive for the early game. But KYXY remains uncontested and untouched. He's gonna go for that face boots next. I think good news for Army Geniuses, they managed to take down or remove the tier 1 in the middle lane. Meanwhile, another avalanche. KYXY is moving in between creeps so he doesn't get tossed back, but he does get anyway. Here comes the Firestorm though, Dark Rift. Do they have the damage? Hustler comes in with the border roll, Geometric Grip. He's gonna kill our Stargazer. No, Stargazer managed Doppelganger out. And KYXY will get home safely.
Felt like they could have fought there. Maybe traded 1-for-1 to kill the PR. I think it would have been worth it for them. But either way, they chose to go for the safe play. Completing the Dark Reef. Because the Dragon Knight came in though, it was a huge commitment. So I thought they were gonna stay and help him. And now he's stuck here and he's gonna probably die.
Just cut the tree and great Avatars wove into the boat and a supernova. They're gonna lose nuts and Alacrity's not gonna make it out. Try to break the egg, but it's him that's gonna be fried. Double kill for Wami.
Yeah, they just needed to back that. That was a bit of like miscommunication. I think the A and DK came in and then the Pit Lord used his ulti to get out instead of stopping it, and then they still stayed there to push the tower. I think that the DK had to stay there because I don't think he wants to move again to the move back to the bot lane. So all he needed to do is just waited for the other heroes to arrive.
Patient waiting for overcommitment. Here comes another avalanche. Drew, is he ready to split up? The toss though, does it matter? Yes, it does. Here comes the Pulse Nova, the silence onto the Phoenix. Coin Brace keeping him alive for now. Scatter the splinter shot. Actually kills off the Earth Spirit, but it's gonna be 2 kills for RR so far. The burn, is it enough? Yes, it is. And both teams are gonna trade 2 back, and now that's gonna be the third one on the chopping block. Does have the cold feet. Wami kills him off and gets out of range. 3 kills for Army Geniuses in that department.
Bounty runes though. Radiant has, I think has 3, 4?
It's 4 bounty runes.
Oh, they have. So big loss there for the Dire team. Going for that play and resulting in losing. They even traded 2 for 2. They didn't even get like ahead of it. So losing that bounty rune is definitely a huge blow for them. But overall on the net worth, they are still on par with the Dragon Knight and the Underlord. They're all 3 cores actually on par within each other. It's more about the supports getting ahead because of the bounty runes. Look at how poor the Wyvern is.
And KYXY deciding to go straight for the ATOS. Now just fast on Pit of Malice. Prevents Stargazer from Phantom rushing forward.
ATOS, really?
DD onto Wami. Alacrity is there, they have the Arctic Burn. Now Fortification comes in. Here comes the TP though from the Tiny, but the Dragon Tail prevents that combo. Dark Rift from KLXY brings himself in as well. They get the toss to delay Drew. Avalanche is there. And Army Genius is on full retreat. They get the Winter's Curse on top of Drew just to buy a bit more time. But it seems like Army Geniuses, they're going to go for a full retreat and give away the Winter Wyvern.
I think the Phoenix didn't have TP. If the Phoenix had TP, they could have fought there. The Phoenix was just running from the river, so he couldn't arrive on time. Still trying to fight here. They have the egg.
Yep, and they
want the lash. They want to get the lash.
Torrent does miss. Great size stab, but great geometric grip to prevent the toss. And here comes the Supernova though.
Hit the egg.
They get the Tidebringer. No. They need to hit the egg. Nah, they can't. Alacrity does not have enough attack speed. Ice Blast does come in. Mamandaya and Wami takes it. Here comes the Sunray and the Urn of Shadow. Mamandaya dives up. Pipe is popped as well. Wami just needs to kill Alacrity. A bit more damage. Magnetized from Hustler. Alacrity somehow manages to walk out. He's going to give his life for his Chilling Touch on top of Mamandaya. Mamandaya, he might die. Cold Feet is there. He does drop. Hustler gives up his life as well, but Wami will try to trade the AA back. Alacrity will be there to help out this AA. Arctic Burn is here from UK. Trying to kill off this AA, but the damage was not there. And Lackery is going to turn and fight. Splinter Blast comes out once again. They have the chilling touch. And, oh, Tidebringer kills off the AA, but they lose the Winter Wire when the boat comes out. But War Mage can get run down. Pulse Nova and Diabolic Edict.
Doesn't matter if you have a hood there. I think they just chased on for way too long till Lash was respawning. But in the fight you can see once again why the Phoenix was selected here. They didn't have very good heroes to kill the egg. Not much attack speed from the other heroes, so it's always going to be hard for Radiant to deal with a well-placed Phoenix egg. And that's going to be a problem until they have, I think, BKBs on the DK. Lash, you kind of can hit the egg, but you need also the BKB. So once they get the double BKB, then they'll be able to start killing the egg. But until then, the egg is going to be very difficult to deal with for Radiant.
Oh, Lackery again, Dot surviving the entire fight. 6-1 and 1. I think insanely good time on the DK. Also hitting, still keeping himself in check on net worth. But meanwhile, for Army Geniuses, Stargazer is giving a lot of space as well. Going for the Diffusal. It's going to take a while, but we'll see what Army Geniuses want to do in this situation.
And PL is very farmable. That's good news for them. This game, but the thing is, even if PL is farm, it's not the kind of game where I feel like PL can solo carry. Because he's up against like 3 counters. Lash, DK, Underlord, they are all extremely good heroes against PL. He's going to need 6 slots and maybe even Silver Edge at some point because he needs it to break either the Underlord or the Dragon Knight to kill them. Oh, it's going to be a very, very long Howl game before the PL gets there.
Yeah, seems like that's the idea of Army Geniuses, wanting to drag out the game for the PL. So still giving him decent resources. They do lose Tiny, but it's a support Tiny.
Yeah, sure, you can drag out a game, but can he do it alone later? That's the main question. Phoenix is not going to provide much in terms of like damage, right click. He's all magical damage and he's useful when the BKBs are down. But till then, he's not going to provide much. Same for the Kunkka that's going for more utility build. So the PL has to somehow be their tower damage, hero, and hero damage. He's going to be doing everything.
Hustler sense that something is in the air. Army Geniuses, they're rotating downwards, but it's going to be RR who has the advantage. Wami?
The Veil is going to be a great addition. Veil plus the Ice Vortex with the Lash Rack, he's going to destroy everything.
Oh, Hustler jumps right in. Rising the Lawless, she's going to toss him right back. That's Spirit Vessel. He kicks Mamang Dai away. He wants to be purchased by Stargazer. They body block Hustler. Hustler's going to go down, but they lose the Kunkka though. Super worth for Reality Rift, but here comes the Winter's Curse onto Nuts. PL's going to join the fight as Lackery turns into Dragon. Stargazer from behind is going to go towards the back line. Winter Wyvern with the cold feet. They're going to drop the Firestorm on top of the PL, but great avalanche. Here comes the egg. Nuts trying to get up, but I don't think he can. So they're going to lose this AA in the process. Army Geniuses take 2 in that fight.
Only 2 supports though, so I think it's alright for Radiant despite going for 2 for 1. And overall they expanded the egg. Wasn't really well used with hang on. Oh, they're gonna catch one more.
Yep. Tiny is not going anymore.
They have to use the curse plus the egg together. Preferably the Phoenix goes in, casts his egg, and just tells the Wyvern to get ready. The moment they try to kill the egg, he's going to use his ulti. They have to combo it well to kill at least, I think, the Dragon Knight. I mean, sure, you can kill the supports, but if you want to kill the Dragon Knight, you have to land the combo.
Right now, it's just Stargazer trying to shoulder the burden of carrying the team. When Pyre Fangs are being dropped, he's going to switch that up immediately.
He is the only one that's supposed to carry the team, but he needs his team to do something. The bare minimum is land their combos. I mean, if I'm the PL, sure, I'm not going to expect my team to carry this game, but they at least have to land their combo well so that PL can clean up the fight. If the combo does not land well with the egg plus the curse and the bolt, I don't think the PL will have enough to kill everybody. Like I said, he's up against 3 counters. Sure, he can maybe carry when he has 6 slots, but he still needs his team to contribute in the fights.
They have things caught up for them. Meanwhile, Lawless Shido caught out But the Ice Blast, pretty easy kill. RR get another pick off.
Dire's
Space.
middle tower has fallen.
Secure the outpost.
Space for the
Radiant's
PL to
bottom
keep farming.
tower has fallen.
Mandaya will trade one back in the bottom lane as they do take the tier 1 in the bot. So since the line's been drawn by Army Geniuses, they want to defend the top tier 2. The rest of RR are there as well.
BKB is also almost completed on the Dragon Knight. Here we see a nice block there
Radiant's
by
bottom tower is under
Tiny,
attack.
stopping the roll.
Dire's top tower
And here we
is
see
under
the
attack.
curse, which I mentioned. He needs to wait for the Phoenix has egg, but once the curse is used, he doesn't really want to go in because there's nothing to
Dire's
protect him.
structures are fortified.
Yep.
So
And
they have to
Dire's
land
top
the,
tower
like
is
you
under
see the egg
attack.
there, right at the end. It was very defensive because he's uncertain about popping the 8 off if he goes in too deep, because there's no Winter's Curse anymore.
Yep. And only 2 support kills come out of that.
Yeah, imagine if he got the egg, he's able to get the egg in the middle of the 3 heroes there with the curse. They're gonna kill all of them.
Since right now they're trying to do something. Ice Blast comes out from Nuts though. It seems like RR found someone. It's going to be the Tiny again. Ice Blast drops down. But they have the X mark the spot. The Geometric can get the silence, but still into the boat. And Huskkiee this time, not so lucky, gives up his life.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too over-eager there, playing in the enemy's area.
Spent quite some time. So this time it's Army Geniuses identifying the issue, managing to respond to that. It's a small pick-off, but it is an Earthspirit with quite a substantial network. That would definitely
Dire's
help
bottom
out
tower
the
is
support
under
from Army
attack.
Geniuses side. Seems like they can look for more. They do see Alacrity. RR has a ward there. They know who's coming. And Warby just in a bad spot. Firestorm, Dragon Tail. It's gonna take a while to kill off this Kunkka, but I think this Kunkka is still gonna go down regardless. If this curse has come out, Kunkka needs to move out of the pit right away, and he does. Waiting
Sure
for
dies.
Dragon Tail, her slice in.
There's no way he farms the ancient. That was like a huge misplay. There's no way he touches the ancient creeps there. And on top of things, they didn't have a vision on that area. That camp is like, he's not supposed to farm there, and right now PL is in all sorts of trouble. He has Doppelganger up.
Oops. It's gonna Phantom Rush. Turn on to Drew though. Drew, no defense mechanism. But she will survive, burns out all the illusions.
The Kunkka could have bought back there, maybe to turn the fight around.
Radiant's
Not sure if he had
middle
TP,
tower is under attack.
but yeah. Like overall, that only happened because the Kunkka was way too greedy, farming the ancients without vision. Like
Yeah.
that belongs to that line there, right there in the middle. That belongs to the Radiant. You can only farm there if you have enough heroes around, and all you have vision as Dire. And 20-minute Balduin spawn, so Radiant is going to collect three. They're gonna get 3. This is because of the Kunkka's blunder around the ancient, so his team couldn't really contest the bounty runes right now. So we see a smoke.
Gonna try again.
The wall, there's a sentry,
Oh,
so
they know.
they see it.
They see everything. Alacrity? With his curse right on top.
Torrent bolt.
Here comes your Torrent Bolt. They're gonna burn his mana first, but he has
Wait,
the
what?
BKB though. Fresh out the bolt. Another great pit of mana into a 3-man Ice Blast, and that time he's gonna be the first to go. But Stargazer realizes he cannot fight this anymore. KRX on the killing spree, but Hustler's gonna roll in, show himself. No Winter's Curse, another boulder roll on top of Stargazer, who is running out of mana. Magnetized. Doppelganger to safety, but there's a Sunray. Now it's gonna burn down to Mamandaya. The use combo misses a bit, but Stargazer still needs to get out. They burn down the Pulse Nova. Do they have Doppelganger? No. Hustler lets him eat the totem to get the ATOS on top of the Winter Wyvern. It's gonna be RR with 4 kills, and they only lose the AA.
Alright, they started the fight and then they didn't follow up with the stuns. I'm pretty sure Dragon Knight is going to die from full to 0 if the stuns land perfectly. There's no way he survives that.
Dire's structures
Torrent
are
bolt.
fortified.
Then the Tiny will do his combo.
Yep,
That's like again another huge misplay, but from Dire.
and this time it's even more costly. They lose the cores, they lose towers as well. And just RR with a better response. Mamandaya not able to do much as the Phoenix.
I mean, the fight's pretty much over when they initiated with Curse and Bolt, and
Dire's
no one
bottom
died.
tower is under
You're not gonna
attack.
use your egg anymore after that.
Yeah, and the Phoenix also died. So it's a huge disaster for Army Geniuses, and that extends the goal disadvantage to the -7k. RR in a pretty good lead.
And then Dragon Knight is going to have a Radiance in a bit. That's going to limit the PL even more. Things are just going from bad to worse for Dire.
Hasta trying to get the timing right, but we met with a bolt, Sunray Spirit Vessel. They should be able to kill off this Spirit. No, he rolls away to safety, but he's still gonna burn. So pick off our Army Geniuses. It's the third time they revisit that area.
Like you see what they're doing is very not polished, like very scattered, you know. They have the idea where to go, but they're not doing it correctly. That's why they have to waste so much time to go back and do the same thing. Imagine if they did the Kunkka farming ancients, remember?
Yeah.
Like 3 minutes ago. They did a smoke, they go in, and then the Kunkka goes in together. That would have been a play already right there, because they had egg and boat that fight. But because he did a bad play, he tried to farm before his team arrived. They couldn't save him. They couldn't get the bounty runes. Like everything was a chain reaction. And after the bounty runes, they still had to go back bottom, because that's the play that they have to make. As Dire, you have to go and take the bottom area, the Ancients area away from the Radiant. So just like one thing leading to another. It's like a small mistake, but has a rippling effect on the game.
Yep, right now is Army Genius is feeling huge pinch. They're still gonna play in the bottom side, but this time have a bit more success.
Aghanims, yeah, interesting.
Just want to save
More
his team.
damage, I guess, yeah. Saving the... I mean, not sure the saving the teammate part is important for him now. I was kind of thinking that they need more stuff for teamfight, like either BKB, Shiva. I think BKB would have been a legit item here for Phoenix this game. Because you saw in the last few fights, the Earth Spirit was like trying to silence him. Either to stop the dive into 8 combo or stop the Sunray. So BKB would be definitely nice. Like in the fights, you could just BKB Sunray, finish casting a Sunray, then die. You still have time to dive in and cast your combo.
Yep, and it seems like Alacrity decides to not queue out the Radiance. Went for the Maelstrom instead. Also another way to deal with the PL illusions. I believe I saw KRXY queue out the Radiance. Not sure if that's
Oh, Underlord was buying the Radiance?
I saw him queue out the Sacred
I
Relic.
guess that's fine. As long as someone is buying the Radiance, I guess that's fine. So overall, the Maelstrom is still like a great item for Dragon Knight. He's gonna be able to have attack speed and do well as the game progresses. Continue scaling. The Mjolnir is gonna be a late game addition that will benefit him later. Casting the passive on him.
Yep.
Static charge.
Right now it's PL going for the Mentor style. And tier 3 items starting to drop. BKB fresh out the boat, fresh out the oven for Drew. And since like RR we decide to go on Roshan. Not sure if they caught wind about that though. Hasta playing on the other side of the map.
So it seems like Dire's not going to be able to contest this. I don't think they have any information, even though they see no one on the map right now. Not very sure what the opponent is doing.
There we go, let's see. Free Aegis for Drew. Meanwhile, Axe is completed by the Phoenix. Let's see if this Axe come into play for Army Geniuses. But yeah, I think KRXY have the Sacred Relic queued up. It's going for the Radiance. Slightly. Either way, it would be a good Radiance carrier to burn out the PL.
Yeah, but he has an Atos. Atos doesn't make him more tanky with the Radiance. It's just a rather strange item this year. I mean, it's good for the combo with the pit, but I think the Radiant lineup doesn't really lack stuns or anything. Like, I felt like going for a back or Crimson Guard would just benefit him more. But here we see a roll in, but just in time.
Close.
Tiny TPs out.
Should sense that Army Geniuses are here to place on deep wards. Let's see if they get those info. Pretty deep vision for Army Geniuses just to keep track of where RR is. But even through all those events, Stargazer has been able to stay at least on top of the network chart. It's less than 1k below that Leshrac. Just send his Meta Illusion to clear the wave out. Mjolnir will be completed for Alacrity.
And the PR is going to have a lot of problems doing damage in team fights. A lot of the team fight is going to just, like I said, if the combo does not land, I think Daya can't really do much with the PR, even PR has another item. His item progression doesn't really change the face of the game too much right now because he's heavily countered.
Oh, he's trying to go in.
Look at how little damage he's doing there. They get a save.
Yeah, they're gonna save him with the boat.
And the egg.
The egg is there. They get the Aegis out of Drew. Can they follow up though? Do they have to follow up? Stargazer gotta be really careful as Drew runs at him. How Stargazer re-engage the backline. Magnetize and Winter's Curse is out. But the damage from likely is not gonna kill Drew, and here comes the Ice Blast though. They're gonna Avatos, kill off Hostile, gets the Torrent out. Stargazer decides to turn back, this time onto Lackley, but he had to fall back. Gleeman came to keep him alive, but they get the Dragon Tail on top of Wami. Co-embrace to buy a bit of time, but Drew is there with Split Earth, and Wami will not be able to make it out. Sunray now comes in, another Avatos. Lolashi kills off Drew, and now Extra scrambles to save his teammate, but he's going to lose the Dragon Knight and the Lashrak. I'll say a win in Army Genius's boat.
That fight was a very messy fight. Initially, the combo was started with the PL running in first, and then the egg was a brilliant one, saving the PL at the last moment and giving him a second life.
I deserve this.
But I think this is that fight you can see why I mentioned the rod of Atos doesn't really help the pit lord. He couldn't really tank much. He has like nothing that helps him tank, and he has this radiance which, to do damage, you have to stand in front, you know. And that's...
Oh, here comes the Sunray and Mamang Daya. A bit too much commitment.
Are they actually insane?
And they're gonna lose the Tiny as well.
What are they doing? Even if they killed the AA, it wouldn't ever be worth it.
And they found the Wyvern.
Never mind.
Army Genesis, a weird way to lose some members, but Hostile has to magnetize though. Another Atos. Torrent onto Hostile, and Stargazer is just burning down. Get out. Pit doesn't catch him. The TP is coming in from Drew. Well, it seems like an opening for
It's
RR.
like they just want to fight, but they don't want to win the fight.
What? How to buy back?
They want to delay the push here. I think it was fine. But you could see in the fights the Underlord is not very useful even though he has Radiance, because he can't go in near to do damage. He has no items that allow him to survive in the team fights longer. That's why I felt like the Raw of Atos was not a good pickup.
The instinct was correct, but it's a bit too late to catch out PL. PL does TP away. But what a loss to attempt to kill the AA by losing 3 members instead.
Yeah. But still, Radiant is very much in control of the game at the moment. Next Roshan should be the important thing that they are waiting before they siege the high ground once again. I don't think they are in any rush about sieging the high ground. They're gonna finish the BKB on Underlord. Octarine Core, I guess, on the Bloodstone, sorry, on the Lash.
The BKB? I think it's the Earth Spirit BKB.
They are both gonna have BKBs, Earth Spirit and Underlord.
Oh, there we go. Chrysalis will be there for Alacrity as well.
I think overall right now the game is gonna quiet down. Radiant wants to wait for ages. Daya doesn't really want to do much apart from getting more items on PL, and Radiant doesn't really care because they have a lot of counters towards the PL.
And PL even went for the
What Aether Lens?
Hood.
Oh, Phoenix Aether Lens. I mean, Hood is generally like a great item for PL when you're up against Lash.
Alright, so
Oh no, they're gonna swap to find a fight. Like you said, the BKB on Earth Spirit.
yeah, let's see what Army Genesis, where Army Genesis wants to go. I think this Phoenix now becomes a insurance policy, but they might find someone though in the middle lane. There we go, the Aegis comes in, you have the egg. They're gonna try and break the egg, but great Winter's Curse to stop the egg from breaking. Make sure the stun lands. They're gonna find Nas. They didn't kill him off first, but there's a pit. Avatar, the damage is enough. Torrent as well. The Phoenix still alive, but the tie is not going to be. They don't have the damage though. Stargazer, he goes back in, but gets rooted up. That's 3 kills for RR. It's gonna be 4th if UK doesn't get out, and it doesn't seem like he will. So use the Arctic Burn, play around, gets himself back down. 4 kills for RR, and Army Geniuses, what seems like the best case scenario, turned out to be the worst outcome.
Yeah, they were just too far behind though. The combo was really nice from the Desire team. They saved the PL like previous fight with the egg, and then they follow up with a brilliant curse, but just too far behind, didn't have enough damage.
Swarmy as well, seems like this is it for Army Geniuses. Only one buyback on the Phoenix.
Gonna lose 2 lanes probably.
There goes the Rex.
So unless your Rex just goes down quickly. And the Underlord has a lot of damage because of the heroes dying.
Yeah, 56 permanent damage. When, unfortunately for Army Geniuses, RR takes 2 sets of Rex. They can have their way with the base however they want. Still quite a while before the cores come back up. Not even worried, ever toss though, not enough damage.
Why didn't he bring his team together? He used ulti alone top. That was rather weird.
He just want to shove the wave in, but we'll be able to take this outpost.
They could have brought everyone with him.
Now RR checking the Roshan pit. No Roshan just yet. But we take a look at the replay and just again the combo was there. This is what Army Geniuses needed.
Yeah, with the Earth Spirit there with the BKB and the double silence causing a lot of problems there for the Phoenix. That's why I mentioned he needed a BKB in the fights.
Yeah, it's 4 quick kills for RR. Now with a 23k gold lead, Army Geniuses. Time is running up for them. Things seem pretty grim as RR is gonna barrel down the top lane. And Roshan is also coming out as well.
Yeah, they should just check the Rosh, get the Rosh angle.
Oh yeah, now they check. Now they know. Rosh comes back up, they're gonna go for Rosh. Army Geniuses will have info of this, but unfortunately they won't be able to contest.
They have to contest this. If they don't contest this, the game is as good as over. They have to try to smoke out and fight. This is the last stand.
Yeah, there we go. The smoke is out. But they're not together though. TP breaking Mount Daya. Stargazer needs to join his team right now. They're not bringing the PL.
Why is it so slow?
Oh yeah, now Roshan's gone. Not really sure what the game plan was, but yeah, he was right.
I don't think they know Huskkiee. They themselves don't know what's going on.
But I'm pretty sure they saw the ward though.
Yeah, but they were so slow. Like why were they so slow? They saw the moment Radiant started the Roshan. They knew exactly when it started to happen.
Yeah. So they bought the smoke and then they just decided to not go at all. It's like,
I mean, the problem with having to buy the smoke, not having the smoke ready, that is also another issue.
do we want to fight here?
Here's BKB.
Try and pump damage on the Underlord. Pop the BKB now. Here comes the Winter's Curse though. Where's the damage? Can they kill the Underlord? Yes, they can. Hustler cliffed up, but they do find Wormy the Wormy. Stunned up by the Dragon Tail. Cole embraces that Ice Blast towards the back line. Only hitting no one, so toss Drew up onto the cliff. They're gonna keep him there, stranded with the PR illusions, but he does get out. 4 stab to safety. Alacrity on a killing spree in a dragon form. They need to kill off the Dragon Knight, but Stargazer has too many targets to go for, and there's no one to save him. The toss away. Can he survive? Hustler rolls back in. The damage is still there. PL somehow survives with the doppelganger. Can he get to safety though? They need the egg to save him. Where's the dive? I need to go right in with the egg right now. He's slowed down. There's no silence. Gets the egg off with the sun ray, but they should be able to break the egg. Yes, they can. Nuts is the one who gets a fried egg for dinner. Triple kill for Alacrity, and it's GG. RR keep themselves alive in the lower bracket.
Oh, just too far behind them. Very difficult for them to fight with the egg combination anymore. Just too many mistakes in the game before they reach their power spike.
Yeah, and RR managing to breeze through this and looking stronger than ever compared to yesterday. That means that Army Geniuses, they have been eliminated from the tournament. And RR, they'll have to face up against Adroid in the lower bracket final to qualify for the second seed.
Yeah, they are just the clear better team in this series. From the laning phase, from the drafting phase, every detail, map movement, itemization. Okay, maybe not itemization. But I think overall they're just the better teams. Nothing much more to add to that.
Yeah, it seems like Army Geniuses, compared to yesterday where they went 2-1 against Adroid, today is just a whitewash by RR. They've been looking, stronger compared to yesterday.
Just I think the foundation of the team is not very stable. Like all these kind of teams that got formed from playing pubs and high MMR pubs and just have all these kind of a lot of unstable plays. One day you can see them making very very good individual performances to win games, but the other day when it doesn't happen, you could see a lot of flaws in their game. They don't move well as a team, coordination around the map. They don't really understand what they have to do in the game and the draft. It's all about like trying to outplay the opponent. You can't rely on outplaying every single game to win your games. You have to have stability, a decent understanding about how to work around the map, what to do, which towers to attack, which to defend.
Yep, and in this case, Army Geniuses, I think the idea was correct. But definitely the small mistakes. I think starting from the biggest turning point, starting from Wami trying to farm the Ancient.
Yeah, that was one of them. That showed you that they didn't understand the map very well and what to do. They're just playing individually. Like the game is more about each and every player alone. They don't really connect their ideas together to play. And obviously, laning phase as well has been an issue with Mamang Daya. He got on both the games in a row. But I agree, this game they had a much better overall game plan compared to the first game.
Yeah, I think also more versatile, right? You can first game was just about the Huskkiee. Second game, majority of it was on the PL, but I think Mamang Daya and Warming did kind of pull their weight to a certain point, but it's just not enough for Stargazer to contribute anything.
Yeah, just pick sequence though. They picked the PL. I mean, I don't even think it's the PL's fault for the most part. The pick order was it was Phoenix plus Tiny.
Yeah,
and
then
then
PL.
PL Kunkka, where if they really wanted the Kunkka, they could have just picked the Kunkka first instead. Because Kunkka was a flex pick, PL wasn't, and they could have waited for one more hero before deciding whether they wanted to pick the PL. So it's like poor planning.
Yeah, and well, that kind of led to their losses. But I think for RR itself, we say that this is the benchmark of RR, because next up is against Adroid, and Adroid, even though they flopped the first series against Motivate Trust, but I don't think we've seen the end of Adroid just yet.
Yeah, they had a bad game, sure. Sometimes happens, but it's all about how you solve the issues where you face. As a team that's going to the major, they have to realize that it's very important that you see the problem, you try to pinpoint what's exactly the problem and you fix it. Because if you're playing a long tournament, you have to be able to solve problems to get better. It's not just about, we win this game, we lose the next game. It's about the long run, the long haul. How well you can adapt to the situation.
And we'll see how it's gonna pan out later on. But first, let's take a look at the featured player from that game 2. It's gonna be Hustler Earth Spirit, undisputed, one of the best Earth Spirit we have so far in the tournament. And his performance was just amazing. I think every time he picks Earth Spirit, my heart just skips a beat because of how fun it is to watch him play that hero.
Yeah, but I don't think the hero is that strong right now. I mean, it just works because they are way better than their opponents. I think in a high tier game, both teams tier 1 or tier 1.5, they're as good as each other. Balanced game. I don't think this hero is gonna be that great, because the laning of the hero isn't that strong. Yeah, sure, he's a bit similar with what you can do with Clock, Earthshaker, Nyx at the start of the game. You can roam around and gank, and you have long range initiation. But your laning is weaker, and he needs a lot more items. So you compare it to like the Earthshaker, Clock, Nyx. Those heroes, what do they need? Shaker needs a blink. That's it. Clock probably just doesn't really need much, He's gonna have like a blade mail, sure. Whatever he gets is not a necessity for him to do his job. But for Earth Spirit, you need BKB. You need a lot of other items to be useful, because you are rolling in, so you're tanking damage. You need items to survive the fight.
Yep, and well, that's enough for us for now. Let's see what the winners have to say though. We have a winners interview with Reality Rift after that series, and we're gonna have Drew with us, the position 1 for the team. How are you feeling, my man? Sorry?
Feeling pretty good.
Alright, feeling pretty good. It was a convincing 2-0 win, but I want to bring it back to yesterday against Motivate Trust, right? So you guys dropped 2-1 in the upper bracket and ended up here, but you just won 2-0. So what was the biggest difference between yesterday and today?
Maybe yesterday, some of the players were feeling the fatigue after. Because before this, we were playing a tournament. And after the tournament ended, we just went home and started playing the ESL game. Maybe some of the players were feeling pretty fatigued. That's why they didn't perform after the. And today, I feel like we played pretty good.
Alright, and a lot of confidence right there. And I want to also talk about, I believe, the two games, the series against Army Geniuses, right? So you guys felt pretty good, pretty confident. Is this energy can be carried forward against Adroit in the lower bracket finals later?
Yeah, for sure. We're looking forward to the entry.
Alright, so you guys did see Adroit kind of flop against Motivate Trust 2-1. They dropped the last two games pretty badly. What are your expectations up against Adroit later on?
We'll see, but I think they look pretty good and the experience was.
Right, so final question. How confident are you that RR is going to beat them and make it to the second seed into the playoffs?
For me personally, I think I'm just gonna do my best. I feel like pretty, especially after going this.
Alright, thank you very much, Drew, and all the best for Reality for later. The low bracket run continues. Thank you very much. Well, that's all we have from RR. Pretty confident against Adroit, but I want to hear about your expectations from between RR and Adroit for the next series.
Don't really have much expectations. I think they are not that far apart from each other. Even though Adroit managed to make it to the majors this time and R didn't. I think overall both teams have high skilled players, and overall reasonable drafts, and everything is all about the small things that would make a difference on someone playing a better game on that particular day that would help their team win the game.
Yeah, and I think one of the difference between R and Adroit, at least on paper, was that it seems like Adroit prefers a greedier way of playing, want to go late game, at least from that first series, whereas RR seems more well-rounded throughout their gameplay. Would that kind of affect how the next series pan out?
Yeah, maybe, but I think the most important thing is going to be about how well they move on the map and the draft. That's pretty much it.
Oh, well, and that concludes the first lower bracket series, but we still have one more, the final showdown between Reality Rift and Adroit to see who will be the final team to qualify as the second seed from Group A. We'll go on a short break and we'll be back for that final showdown. Don't go anywhere.